Thanks for joining us for the Lung Cancer Foundation of America World Lung Cancer Day social media takeover. We're talking to patient advocates about living with lung cancer and all the ways they use their lungs.
Join us live throughout the day for fascinating conversations with patient advocates on Facebook, but also check into Twitter and Instagram. There, you're going to learn more about how research makes it possible for so many different people to truly live even though they have lung cancer. It allows them to do what they love with their family and friends.
And Jordan, we are in for a treat on this one because we're going to hear from one of our favorite patient advocates, Lysa Buonanno, who recently moved to Florida from Las Vegas. She moved there with her husband, and she's making the most of her new home and her new hometown.
Lysa Buonanno has the ROS1 lung cancer biomarker and has been living with lung cancer for nearly 11 years. And she's just a wonderful patient advocate. It's always been her dream to retire on the beach. And we hope you're probably going to want to grab a couple of tissues for this story.
Good morning, Team Buonanno. How are you guys?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are things in Florida? A little warm, a little muggy this morning for World Lung Cancer Day?
Muggy. That is one thing we are not used to yet, I think, is humidity. You can't go outside without just being really wet.
Sweat a lot.
So, Lysa, you spent quite a number of years in very hot, very dry Las Vegas.
Yes.
And now you're on the beach in Florida. Talk about this cross-country move that you made.
It was scary, exciting, but scary. Yeah, I was in Vegas for 30 years, and my parents had a home in different parts of Florida for about 8 years. So I've been coming here every year, and they've been going back and forth for months at a time. And we had contemplated moving here before, but our daughter was still in high school, and things were just tricky and didn't feel like the right time. And then it just did. You know, our daughter's in her third year of college. Our son doesn't live where we lived anymore. So we just decided, why not? Let's try it.
What about the dogs? When you guys moved across the country, I remember seeing pictures and video of it was a caravan of cars and household goods and animals.
We did have a moving truck that moved most of our stuff. We sold one of our cars, so we just had the one vehicle and the RV that he lives out of when he works. So we each had a vehicle and a dog. And they're neither of them were huge fans of the car, definitely not for being in it for 10 hours a day. So the first 2 days were pretty rough. Overall, no errors, no tire issues, no engine issues. We drove like 9 to 10 hours a day.
Oh my gosh, you guys are kind of this power couple. I see you guys working together as a team so closely. And one of the things that you work on is pulling together an amazing house. Like your places in Las Vegas were amazing, and the work that you did on them. And now you've moved to this great new house in Florida. And Joe, you have a man shed.
Yeah, it's a niner. I call it the gold mine. It's a niner room for me to go yell at. Gets me out of the house when I'm screaming at TV every Sunday.
Let's enter the gold mine, see what that boy's doing. I'm sure he's playing video games. Oh yeah. We have a screen on here because, bugs. Hey!
Hey!
Hi, Levi. Are you coming? Levi likes to come in and hang out with Dad.
He knows his seat.
Yes. Got this awesome rug. He has a refrigerator. This is his bar. This was a cabinet in our old kitchen, and we turned it into a bar for him. Had some special mugs made for him that say gold mine on them. He has a ton of memorabilia. There he is. The Christmas tree, yes, stays up all year round. He's a grown man. He plays video games with his friends, guys, with his headphones, his best buddies in Nevada.
Say hi.
Nevada and California, he plays with all his buddies online. 2 TVs, of course, for football season. Ton of collectibles. He's got actually a lot of really cool stuff in here.
Lysa, you shared this video on TikTok that I love because it really shows kind of what living with lung cancer is like, not only because I think it's amazing that you're out busting your backside doing the line, but you know, kind of showed what it means where you need to like work for a little while and then take a break, and especially in that kind of heat and humidity.
Oh yeah, for sure. It takes me a while. I'm so happy that he's home. He's gone a lot for work. And so I've been doing the yard myself. And now in the rainy weather, you literally have to mow like every 4 days. It's crazy, or it's way too tall. So now that he's home, it's awesome. I edge and blow and he mows, and he can do it much faster than I can. So that's nice.
Was, if you guys don't mind, just to when you were saying we've had beautiful homes and everything through Vegas and out here, that's all her. You know, one of my favorite compliments ever. I get choked up, so sorry if I will.
He's a crybaby like me. They already know I'm a crybaby.
I used to throw these big parties, you know, for my birthday every year, and we threw these big parties, and you know, people would come in, and this guy says to me, you know, man, you have a beautiful home. And I knew he wasn't talking about the house, you know, it's a normal house. It's what she does for the inside to make it a home, you know. And so when you said that, I want to say thanks, because it's all her. She has everywhere we lived. She makes it a beautiful home.
Thanks, babe.
Oh, you guys are amazing. Talk about that switch. And, you know, we talk about all of this is thanks to lung cancer research. I mean, it's amazing how quickly research is moving, and giving people the opportunity to make that mental shift from survival mode to like, let me live my life.
Absolutely. Like you said, the beginning is just such a whirlwind. You know, everything in your world changes from, you know, not just the emotions and being told, you know, you have a terminal illness. And that's, you know, everyone goes down that rabbit hole of worst case scenario. But, you know, what, you can't work anymore. How is your family managed with that, dealing with insurance? And, you know, a lot of us say we live 3 months at a time because we generally have a new scan for follow-up every 3 months. All of a sudden at 40, I'm retired and I was a workaholic. So it's like, and I couldn't, like, because of my back surgeries, I couldn't mop, I couldn't grocery shop, I couldn't do dishes. And this poor man was working 50 hours a week, helping our daughter with homework, grocery shopping, mopping, cleaning. And I was like, I feel like such a slug, like I can't do anything. And he's like, your job is to heal. Your job is to get better. But as a type A workaholic, I was like, this sucks. I feel like I'm not even contributing to my household. So mentally, it's rough to get over. Because of research, I think the TKIs have made that so much better for people, because you live much more normally as opposed to traditional chemotherapy. So not to say it's easy, but in many aspects, it is easier to live a fuller life and feel more normal on these drugs. And I think, you know, the TKI I am on wasn't even approved, you know, for my cancer when I was diagnosed. So it's really come a long way, and there are so many options now for people, which I think is amazing, that if that can be their first line therapy. And there's so many people that are still able to work full time and, you know, still have their mental capacities because they're not, you know, burdened by chemo fog and all this other stuff that, you know, many of us have had to deal with in the past, that I've had to deal with in the past. And I think it was probably about 2 years I told him, I remember thinking like in January, and mom's like, we should plan a trip, you know, a big trip, a family trip with my parents and this summer. And I was like, well, okay, you know, make sure you buy refundable everything just in case. And that was actually our first trip, was 9 years ago. This summer was when we came to Florida for the first time. So it definitely gets easier, I think, as time goes, and you kind of are able to think like, okay, you know, I can do this. But I say to people all the time that still get anxiety, which is very normal, you know, anxiety before their scans, that they're nervous and upset for a few days or a few weeks, they're crabby, more irritable. And I just thought, you know, I don't know why it wasn't a conscious decision, but I don't get that. I don't ever, I'm like, oh yeah, it scans tomorrow. You know, oh crap, I have chemo. I forgot to take my steroid yesterday. You know, stuff like that. But I don't let that, I would say cancer has taken so much away from my life already. You know, it's already stolen so much. It's stolen my future. Sorry. Of thinking that I always thought the hardest thing for me to say was to tell him, I always thought, is that we're not going to grow old together. We're not going to be 80 and retired on the beach, because that was always our dream. But here I am, 50, and we get to be retired on the beach. Not my choice to be retired right now, obviously, but we make the best of it. But I think it's stolen so much out of my life. I refuse to give up one more day of worrying about the what ifs to find out everything is fine and you just lost 5 days, and our days are precious. We can't afford to just waste them.
Lysa is so right. Every day is precious, and she's an amazing example of living with lung cancer. So she always gets me this way. If you'd like
I told
to join,
you.
I know. If you'd like to join the World Lung Cancer Day conversation, join Lung Cancer Foundation of America on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok throughout the day, and search those hashtags. Hashtag living with lung cancer and LCFA research.
She just embodies living with lung cancer. If you would like to know more about living with lung cancer, LCFA has so many great resources available for you. All you have to do is log on to their website. It's lcfamerica.org, and you'll find some incredible videos, podcasts, accurate and hopeful information. And if you'd like to help support LCFA in their mission to fund groundbreaking lung cancer research, just text LCFA to 41444 to make a donation.